Hey guys, and welcome back to another Halloween video. Now, today I'm going to be doing my very first Q&A for my YouTube channel. Yes, so a couple videos ago I announced that I was wanting to do a Q&A for this 2022 season, and I got enough to where I think I could do one. I didn't get a ton of questions, but some of the ones that I got were pretty in-depth, and there's actually some of the comments I got on YouTube actually had multiple questions in one. So, yeah, I still decided to include those. So, alright, I guess without further ado, let's get started with the Q&A. Okay, so first question here. By the way, I have a computer that's off screen, FYI, just in case you were wondering what I was looking at. So, for the first question, Kelly from the Village Idiot Podcast. Hey, what's up, Kelly? She asks, she has a couple questions for us, actually. So first up, she asks, do you have any tips, tricks for cord management when creating your display? The next question is, what building best utilizes the pulsing fire effect? And the last question is, what is my favorite Halloween tradition? All great questions. So as far as cords go, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of sloppy when it comes to cords. I just kind of run them through the back of my display. And what I mean by the back of my display, like the back of the table, that's normally what I do. I'm planning on, though, eventually, like not drilling, but like carving little holes into my platforms so that I can fit the cords through that way. Yeah, I'm not really that great with that stuff, but that's what I do. I'm not the best person to ask that, really. As far as the fire effect, now this is an interesting question because LeeMax this year has a lot of buildings that have that flame effect where like the fire kind of pulses on and off. Funny thing is, I actually think that the piece that best utilizes it is the Rest in Pieces Mausoleum. I did a review of that last year. I did a remake of that. I have an old video of it that I did a long time ago. Watch the new one, it's way better. But that piece, that has the crematorium door with the guy that's going in, that fire effect is super realistic, especially for the time, how it flickers. It looks amazing. Yeah, I'd say that's the one that best utilizes it, but there's also other ones, like the Wasteland Pub has some really good ones. The Distillery from last year does the fire effect great, but my answer is the Rest in Pieces Mausoleum. Now, for Halloween traditions, really my favorite tradition is just seeing all the stores get their stuff in and going in there for the first time. Some of my favorite places to go, I love going to Spirit Halloween, but also Home Depot, Target. Those places all have really cool Halloween stuff in my opinion. And so yeah, that's really my only tradition, and also decorating my yard. Of course, I don't really do that. I'm not really doing that now because I'm at college, but as far as like traditions go, those are the things that really get me into the Halloween mood. And of course, Spooky Town, that counts as a Halloween tradition, right? But yeah, decorating my yard and just going into those stores for the first time, that's what I love. That's some of my, that's how I know it's the season, like just going into there. So yeah, that's what I would answer for traditions. Alright, Josh Smith has our next question. He asks, do you think you can ask LeeMax why they don't do a horror line with Jason, Freddy, Michael, and Chucky? He thinks it would be awesome if they did that. He's also asking about the You Name It, We Build It contest, and if they are going to have one this year. To do the You Name It contest, I have no idea. LeeMax, they have a contest every year, but they haven't done the You Name It, We Created one in a while. But if you just reach out to LeeMax, if you go to their website and go to their customer support page, you can submit a ticket for an idea. And actually, that's what I did for several. I had several ideas for pieces, and that's what I did for them. So if you have an idea, just go to the LeeMax support ticket area, or the customer support area, and then submit a ticket with your building idea. As far as like a horror line goes, though, don't get me wrong, I would love to see like a Michael Myers house. They have like a, the Michael Myers house that plays the Halloween theme. I for sure would grab that. The only issue is like those are all licensed properties, and LeeMax doesn't really do that. That's way more Department 56. They're way more into the licensed stuff, but LeeMax doesn't really do that. So do I think it's going to happen? Probably not, but I would definitely think it would be cool. Taylor W asks, do you think LeeMax will ever produce scary/classic buildings again, like the Butcher Shop or the Boogeyman's Hangout? Would you like to see the Front Yard series revived? I personally would love to see a vintage-themed trick-or-treat house and a front yard. I wouldn't mind a vintage-themed haunted house. That's a great question. So for the first part of the question about the scary buildings, I know a lot of people, they complain that Leamax Spooky Town nowadays is way too cartoony. On one hand, yeah, I do like the pieces that are legitimately scary. In fact, some of those are some of my favorite pieces, like the Rest in Pieces Mausoleum is pretty scary. But the thing is, Spooky Town, it kind of has always been pretty whimsical and fantastical, like the carnival rides, the Monsters Ball. People love those pieces, but I really wouldn't say those are, like, scary. And even some of the other scary pieces, like the Dr. Stretch and Pull's Torture Factory, that one is definitely macabre, but also, thematically, it's pretty outlandish. So, yes, I personally would like to see some scarier type pieces, but the cartoony stuff, I don't really, it's not really a deal breaker for me. I like the cartoony stuff as well. Now, as far as, like, the Front Yard series, should they revive that? Absolutely. Leamax, really, I think that they've kind of been lacking when it comes to their trick-or-treat stuff, especially in recent years. I would really like to see them kind of reboot that, because I know last year they kind of rebooted their nautical stuff, with some of the pieces last year, like the Lighthouse and the Fogger pieces. So I would love to see them get back into the trick-or-treat stuff, because they have some fantastic old front yards for their old ones, sorry. They have some great ones that I'm hoping to actually get my hands on a couple of them this year. But, yes, as far as, like, actual houses, yes, that's another thing I would like to see Leamax just do more with the Trick-or-Treat series. Really, Trick-or-Treat houses, front yards, I think Leamax is really lacking in that. And I think they should tap into it more. So no, I definitely think they should do that. That's a great question. Melinda Ward asks, do you ever rehab Christmas pieces and make them Halloween pieces? I've been doing this lately to save money. Christmas pieces from Leamax and Department 56 are cheap at thrift stores and sometimes inexpensive on eBay and Mercari. I'm loving painting and changing them into Halloween pieces. Yes, I did try to rehab it's not really a Christmas piece, but it's one of their carnival pieces, and I failed miserably. A couple years ago, I got the Circus Funhouse. It was not last year, but the year before. It was new in their carnival lineup. I bought that hoping to maybe kind of turn it into a Halloween funhouse, because the Leamax ones, the old Spooky Town funhouses are all hard to get, especially Chuckles. So I tried doing it, but I guess I used the wrong paint. I tried painting the tents on it, and the paint peeled off almost immediately. It did not go well for me. So yeah, as of right now, I'm not really in the rehabbing scene. Again, college kind of eats up my time, but once I'm out of college and I get a place of my own, I do want to re-tap into it. I think that, my first time was not successful at all, but I definitely would like to try again. Maybe this time with some better materials and now better knowledge going into it. Alright, we have our last question here, and it is from Spooky Villages. What's up, Doug? It's nice to talk to you. So, he has, for his Q&A question, what is your favorite non-traditional Spooky Town building? That's a great question, and I've thought a while about this answer, but when it comes down to it, I gotta go with the Isle of Doom Lighthouse. That piece is a top 3 piece for me of all time. I'm actually planning on getting another one later this season, so that I can once again, like what I did with the R.I.P. Mausoleum, remake my review of it, because the Isle of Doom was my very first review that I put up on my channel. Don't watch it, it's terrible. I'll have a new one hopefully coming up later this season. I'm planning on getting another one, but Isle of Doom, really, it's kind of I think it's about as good as it gets when it comes to spooky villaging. Great animation, sound, it's massive, the lights amazing on it. If you have the old one, the 2004 one, and has the fogger, honestly, it's Spooky Town perfection. I think that is about as good as it gets for Leamax Spooky Town, and really just Halloween villaging in general. Thing is, though, the Isle of Doom is part of that ghost pirate theme, which it's horror related, of course, but it's also like Pirates of the Caribbean. It's not really traditional Halloween, when people ask, like, oh, what comes to mind when you think Halloween? Unless you're talking in a costume sense, I doubt pirates will be one of the first things that pops up in the Halloween discussion, but still, it's an amazing theme. I actually do have a review of one coming later this season of one of the old pirate pieces. I think y'all are really going to like that one. It's not the Isle of Doom, by the way, it's a different one. I'm looking forward to talking about that one, but yeah, the pirate theme, is awesome, but I wouldn't really consider it Halloween, in my opinion. Alright guys, so that was the Q&A. Thank you all so much for watching, and to tease what I'm going to have up for next week, we're going to take a break from the Lee Mack stuff, and we're going to go to Department 56 and check out the newest installment for Trick or Treat Lane, along with a little modification to it. Alright guys, thank you all so much for watching, and thank you so much for the people who submitted the questions. It was great reading those. I didn't get a bunch, but still, I thought that they were all pretty substantial. So, yeah guys, thank you so much. I'll see y'all next time.